Calisthenics is destroying your strength. So you've made your breakthrough. You've realized all of the myths, lies, and misinformation in the fitness industry, and you're ready to try this new but ancient art of calisthenics, Greek for beautiful strength. Little did you know that calisthenics is in fact ruining all of your progress. 3 problems and 3 solutions in this video. First, calisthenics is killing your development because of something you've probably never heard before. One of the alleged reasons people gravitate towards quote-unquote calisthenics is because of its supposed development of mobility and strength. However, this is not true. I've used skills found in calisthenics to train for decades. Handstand push-ups, human flags, planches, muscle-ups, and all the rest. And we've included 10 specific moves in the ninja strength element of Powerbatics, specifically for building strength. Front lever row, planche push-up, handstand push-up, one-arm pull-up, front lever, back lever, handstand in rings, human flag, one-arm meat hook, and one-arm reverse flag. You have to be strong as iron to do these moves. And the bigger you are, the taller you are, the stronger you become by doing these. And you can add weight to yourself to make them even more insane. But one thing I realize is this. I often talk about the drawbacks of weightlifting, and there are many, which I discuss in other videos. But when I was thinking about calisthenics and the 10 individual moves of ninja strength, I realized that it's almost as bad and simpleton as weightlifting. It's one-dimensional. All the moves of calisthenics are either static or simple reps. Look at a planche from our handstand element of Powerbatics. By itself, it's completely one-dimensional. Some wrist mobility, lots of upper body strength, but so what? There's nothing else to it. A handstand, same thing. Muscle-ups, a front lever row. Honestly, they don't even build a lot of mobility or anything outside of one-dimensional strength. They build a lot of strength, but only in certain isolated holds or for certain reps. Same problem as weightlifting. So people go and start learning pull-ups, dips, eventually muscle-ups and handstand push-ups, and they're using the wall or bands or artificially decreasing the load and building strength in isolated ranges of motion. What's more is, take a front lever for example. There's literally no movement. There's no mobility to be had whatsoever. Same for any static hold, like a planche, a handstand, or a human flag. There's some degrees you'll need to get into the position, but it isn't really developmental of athletic ability. There's no dynamics, no twisting, no motion, and people get stuck, frustrated, and injured when they go onto the field or even do simple things in life. Hear me when I say this. Calisthenics is not athletics. It is isolated strength training. I use the analogy of martial art a lot, simply because there's a high degree of unpredictability and there's a high degree of movement required. Calisthenics by itself would not prepare a person for a real world situation like this, no matter how strong they are. The exact same thing is true of lifting weights or anything else done in isolation. This is the exact reason why we created a series of 10 levels of katas and Powerbatics like we teach at Pacific Rim Athletics. Katas put all of the moves and intermediary moves into connection with each other. So for example, in ninja strength, that's 10 plus moves on the bar without coming down. Not isolated reps of pull-ups or push-ups, but moves connected together that specifically require transitions between the moves, which is precisely where weak links are exposed and injuries occur. We actually call this the injury zone. Take the intro of level 5, for example. A clap muscle up, first demonstrating motion, dynamics, and aerial awareness, followed by a pullover requiring core strength, to a front lever roll, to a straddle front lever. Or another example, the handstand element of Powerbatics. Just a few from level 1, okay? The Stalder squat, pressing back to straddle plank, down to crab preparation, to a bridge twist. And the katas just get more and more advanced, really truly building the person from the inside out, from very beginner levels up to astonishingly high levels of actualized strength and mobility in all ranges of motion. In fact, it goes well beyond the relentless pursuit of isolated strength and joint mobility and builds coordination, control, and confidence for real life. If you try that section of the handstand kata in your training, let us know how it goes. And make sure to not mistake videos for instruction and delay your own progress. There have literally been people who followed us for 5 years before beginning training, and now they're doing absolutely phenomenal, but that's 5 years gone by. Imagine what could have been accomplished in that same time. Veni is one of my favorite examples of training. He was literally the first person who walked into our first facility when we were building out 8 years ago. And he didn't waste any time and has trained with us ever since, gaining everything you see him doing in the video right now, despite 5 hip surgeries, acetabular impingement, rotator cuff surgeries, knee surgeries, and a cervical spinal fusion. And now he's doing all this in his mid-50s and level 10 in ninja strength, aka calisthenics, plus level 6 in free run. Patrick is someone else who just dove in day one of our first online students who mastered every handstand angle in 12 weeks, and then went on to build incredible ability in ninja strength and then flares and spinning handstands and power moves. So seriously, subscribe and dive in. It's absolutely free and you'll get access to more videos, email trainings, student stories, and a whole new universe. Number 2, calisthenics is also destroying your strength because of a very sneaky little mindset belief. As people get interested or started with calisthenics, they look at the pinnacle moves, like the 10 I listed. They look at all those and they think either those are way beyond what I could ever do. Well, have a talk with Vinny or any other student who's overcome obstacles and done it. I won't even get into my own personal story here. Or they think, oh yeah, I got this. And they rush into training, trying this and that on a bunch of different videos, skipping hundreds of healthy progressions and going full bore shiny object syndrome until they're stuck or hurt themselves. We've seen it all. Now remember the mobility aspect I mentioned in the first point? Not only is it built through the kata training from the beginner stages all the way up, but it is also built through all of the intermediary moves you learn as you advance through the levels. Take a handstand push-up, for example. You don't just start on the wall doing handstand push-ups, or you lose about 10 levels of development. You start on the floor in a frog stand, rebuilding your wrists and fingers. Many people can't even spread their fingers out all the way. And their wrists hurt as soon as they put any pressure on them, even if they have a 200-pound or 300-pound or more bench press. They need tape and braces and everything else. How strong is a person really if their weakest link buckles at the first sign of pressure? Then we build up to 1-foot taps and 1-leg extensions. And what if a person can't even get into a frog position though? Their hips need work, their Achilles need work, and we're only at level 1 or 2 of this. This might require you to build hip flexibility with lotus, W-sit, and butterfly. So you're 1 move in, just 1 progression in, but you've got 6 wrist mobility exercises, 3 hip exercises, and Achilles flexibility for homework. See what I'm saying now? So all the intermediary moves are actually skills themselves, all the way up to the pinnacle move, like our example here of 3 hip exercises and 6 wrist mobility exercises, plus frog stand timed holds. Then we progress to 1-leg frog stand, then 2 feet off the ground. Then bent arm handstand, crab to frog transitions, pyramid push-ups, bridge push-ups, and all sorts of other necessary elements on our path toward the handstand position. Plus, don't forget about actual mobility and strength built through the transitions of all these positions and kata training. You see, not only is it possible for you, but it requires a mindset belief correction, especially when you just stop thinking about all the pinnacle moves and focus on the intermediary moves and the level katas as their own skills working for your benefit. But also, if we forget about our ego and our pride and all the other stuff, and yes, I've been there too, and just listen to the coaching and follow the process, not trying to jump ahead, you'll make massive progress. Life is a video game, and so is the development of strength and mobility and skill and lifelong health through progressive bodyweight training like you're seeing here in this video. And finally, calisthenics is destroying your strength because people think it's the end-all be-all. It's the new thing wrapped up in a fancy social media influencer packaging, even when it's ancient. And bottom line, it's just a singular mode of strength that should not be done in isolation, but should be used as another weapon in your arsenal. It's like Voltron. You don't just do ninja strength. You take all those positions of ninja strength and put them into motion for skills and power moves, or vaults and free run, or sky high in the aerial arts apparatus of Cirque, or in controlled hand balancing you can do well into your golden years. That's a critical error to avoid and a vital piece of information to always maintain. Don't treat anything like it's the end-all be-all. If people do that, they end up unbalanced, given to every wave that throws them about like a little child in a Florida hurricane. Instead, make it just a small part of your training, just a small piece. Like for example, 5 to 10 minutes spent building planche and front lever. This is one of my favorite couplets of training. 5 rounds of planche progression at your level, coupled with 5 rounds of front lever, again at your level. But that's after a full warm-up. And then once you finish planche and front lever 5 rounds, you go into skills training, which continues building all of that isolated strength into actual athletic movement that will serve you for life. If you want help, message my team and you can literally be training in the next 24 hours, making more progress than you have in the last 24 months, or even for some 24 years. And that's seriously no exaggeration either. Or train however you want, it's up to you. But I know for certain people are hamstringing their training by setting one thing up on a pedestal. And in this case, calisthenics, because it has been made incredibly popular recently, but only amounts for a small fraction of what your training, health, strength, and skill can and should look like. Now, there's videos that are coming up on the screen that are designed to help you, and I look forward to seeing you in the next video. And really, I'll hopefully just see you in training soon.